Hi, my name is Anna Renner, and this is my Way of Life project reflection. First, to start the day, was prayer and meditation. Exactly 31 minutes each morning was a difficult challenge. It's hard to get up and know that, it's not time to get ready, it's not time to goof around, play on my phone, it's time that I take to reflect on what I need to do today and what I need to do to get ready and prepare for my day. It also helped to open my eyes to see that I don't need to rush and I don't need to just get ready for class. It's a time to reflect upon myself and a time to take for myself, which before was really not easy to do. Just remember to take care of yourself, and it is okay to relax. And it was a set time to relax, even though it is just in the morning after I had been sleeping, which is a time of relaxation. But overall, it was really nice to reminder to take care of myself. The food plan at first, so this was a big one because my boyfriend and my mom and family on both sides had all made fun of me. They're like, "Oh, are you so vegetarian?" I'm like, well, yes, and I actually enjoyed it. It really opened my mind up to try different foods, and it honestly gave me a healthier lifestyle. I was feeling better because I've I started to do research, and you realize that there are good proteins and bad proteins. Not good and bad proteins, but meat is basically just protein and fat. You can have chickpeas and beans, and along with that comes fiber and vitamins and nutrients, which also keep you fuller for longer. And honestly, it just tasted good. Like by week 2, I was experimenting making my own dishes, and it was really yummy. I know I've always loved vegetables, but it also allowed me to realize that vegetables are there and vegetables are good for you, and it definitely helped cut back on processed foods as well. Modified silence. So that Sunday, what? It was a Sunday, yes. So I had church that morning, and it helped me to reflect that the words I was saying were meant to mean something. That sometimes you fall into routine, you say what people want you to say, even in like church, because it's all on the bulletin, it's written out for you. Sometimes you have to reflect and remind yourself that the words that you say have meaning behind them. And modified speech that day just really was reflective of that. And lost my train of thought. But it also reflected because you had to think about your words before you said them, because instead of just blurting something out, just to keep saying something, even just regular conversation, you had to know what you were saying, and you had to realize that there is impact, and that really did reflect upon my relationships and my conversations throughout the day. So, truth telling. Honestly, this one was in the back of my head at all times throughout the 2 weeks, and still is today, because being honest and telling the truth reflects so much on every relationship you have. It impacts every relationship. If you're not going to be honest with someone, how can you expect them to be honest back? Which then in turn doesn't make a great relationship. I've always had this belief as well, but this really like kept me in tone with it and reminded me why you should tell the truth. Because what's the point? What do you gain? What do they gain from being dishonest? Honestly. Okay. Sleep. Well, when it comes to sleep, I do not have trouble knowing that I need a lot of rest. But I did find a happy medium within that week. So the minimum was 6 hours, and I had been striving to get 8 hours, but I had felt groggy, so I kind of experimented, especially with the prayer and meditation. I had to fit in 30 minutes, and I found that 7 to 7.5 hours is my happy medium, where I'm feeling well rested, but I'm also feeling energized enough to get up and go to class and be energized and well attentive in my classes. So that definitely did help. Money. Honestly, I have always been a tracker of my money as well. You can ask my mom. We are big thrifters, and she has now said that I have surpassed the master, whatever. So, the thing is, when you have a whole list of things in front of you that you're striving for all the time, it's really hard. But it's also a remembrance of what you do and why you do it. And that's a big part of this project. And I know that there are money struggles, and I just don't see the point of working hard for money just to spend it on frivolous things. And as a freshman, we have unlimited meal plan, which has unlimited swipes. So I definitely have been taking advantage of that, as I have it for freshman year. This is the big one. Internet, TV, video games, and cell phone. So, this was, yes, again, a big one. I remember one of the readings from the beginning. I forget what it was called, but it was one of the first readings, along with the koi fish something about the fish. Yes, the fish, and then it was like the next reading in that week about advertising and how so it was about advertising. So this guy is like going on the buses. There's like all this advertising, and in the airport there's advertising, and it's everywhere, and you see TVs everywhere, and it distracts you from what's going on. And conversations in discussion class for philosophy, we had talked about just walking along. Everyone's in their earbuds. Everyone's just walking along. You can't even smile at anyone without them. Like, no one realizes that there are other people. So this was also very reflective to see that, look, my phone right here within reach. It's still here, even though there was this project. But it did show me how accustomed and how trained we are to get on our phones. That, I'm not doing anything right now. I'm just gonna go scroll through Instagram. I'm just gonna check everyone's Snapchat stories or whatever. And you know, it takes it takes time away from what you could be focusing on and what you really want to do. And you don't want to just follow everyone else's lives. You want to make your own path, right? Like, and that's probably something that you guys are trying to do with this project, but it's very nice to, even though there are these guidelines, it allows each person to find out their own rhythm and tune and, yeah, music. So, music has always been a huge part of my life. I grew up singing from when I was about 3 years old. I have been in choirs my whole life. I'm in an a cappella group right now and at SLU and choir there. And to be honest, it has always been a big part of my life. And yes, so I'm not gonna lie, I did still listen to music when I walked to and from class, but I also listen to music during mealtime. Since we weren't supposed to watch Netflix or whatnot, I did listen to music. But it strengthened my relationship with the words. So, you know, people will listen to a beat and people will listen to what others are listening to, but sometimes we forget and we neglect to listen to what the words really say and what the artist is truly meaning. It's hard though, because sometimes we interpret things that people say and we read it differently. But it's just a reminder that music is an art form and it is taken for granted, but at the same time, it is a basis that connects every single person. There's not one person that doesn't know one song. Okay, wait, there might be. That was a big that was a big assumption. But in today's society, most people have access to music and that's how we connect. You know, like you could be at a party or just hanging with your friends and a song comes on and you're like, oh, you're like dancing with them, you're singing along. Like, it's a way that people connect. And they're like, oh, I love this artist. They start talking about them. They love who they represent. They love, honestly, okay, so just recently, yes, I watched a video, but I watched Kanye West talking about love on TMZ, which was about a year ago when he went on this. Everyone called him crazy because he had radical ideas. Now, the way he said some things were not correct, like the way people spun them around. And, well, there are two ways that people can take words. They can take your words literally, or they can interpret their own meaning. Now, Kanye did say words, and this time they took it the literal meaning. But he meant them in a deeper way. He says the basis of everything is love. If we don't love anyone, what does that solve? He said, he was talking about Trump too, because he wore the Make America Great Again hat, and he's like, and there are people, how can you love someone that has put us down and blah blah blah? And he says, well, we've hated him for a while, but what has that changed? Hate doesn't change anything. Like, love is the way that connects. If you're hating someone, that's just a disconnect. You're never going to come on the same terms. And the thing is, they called him crazy and radical because he had these ideas, because he's trying to break out of the mold. He says, now I'm just going on a tangent, but this is what I'm talking about. He talked about artists, how they are artists, and what they're not supposed to just make music. They're supposed to be bringing ideas, through music and language and art, and everyone is supposed to be doing that. And it's just that also brings the media a part of it. They took his words literally. They're trying to make him seem as a bad guy. And yes, some words were, if you take them literally, yes, but he had good intentions behind them. And it's just a different experience when the media and society can all hide behind words on the internet and can hide behind assumptions, and they hide behind what others have set out to be, and no one wants to branch out and say what people are thinking. And Kanye was brave enough to do so. And sorry that this video is now very long because of this, but that is something that I have learned, that the media will take someone that is radical, that goes against, that breaks the mold, and we'll try to put them down, but we need to fight against that, because all we're doing is being trained to follow what everyone else says. But that goes along with Instagram and Snapchat, but daily act of kindness. What did I learn from here? This was also something in the back of my mind, and eventually you just caught on that this is something I should be doing. And by near the end of week 2, it wasn't me like, oh, I have to do an act of kindness. It was me wanting and willingly doing an act of kindness, opening a door for someone, going and picking up trash, like just doing something to make the world a better place. Even if you don't directly impact someone by this, you're indirectly at the same time picking up a piece of trash. It means someone doesn't have to see that and they're like, I don't know where I'm going with that, but there can be indirect ways of helping people as well, even if it's just what you think is helping yourself as well. But daily reflection and journal. So I also did this. It coincided with my meditation. My meditation time, I'd read what happened the day before, and I would reflect upon that. And that's what I ended up doing instead of coloring, is what I said in class. But I reflected upon what I did the day before and how I can not necessarily improve the next day, but it's just a jump start to connect my days. And it's not, it's a new, like, I'm gonna go to sleep so I can have a new day, as many college students say, but just remembering that it's not just living day to day, it's living our life, right? So, okay, so rearing to the end of this project, I write about the days since it's been completed. Honestly, I have fallen back into a routine of getting on my phone once in a while, but I definitely do have a deeper connection with music, and realizing a deeper connection with music, a deeper connection with when I'm eating. It's a constant, not just like I'm eating, I'm watching, whatever. I am eating. It's being conscious of what I'm eating, and which is healthier. It's everyone is so brainwashed. And okay, now back to post project, but I have fallen back into a little routine of when I wake up, I'm not doing the journals anymore, and I'm not necessarily I'm not meditating, but I am taking time in the beginning of the day to take for myself, which is something that didn't happen before, but I definitely intend to incorporate a not necessarily vegetarian lifestyle, but I am definitely more conscious of what I am eating. I am more conscious of what I'm listening to in music and in my relationships. I have realized what relationships are real to me as well, because there are people in my life where I keep on giving and giving, when there are those people who you will give and give, and the more you give, the more they expect and don't reciprocate. And I was talking with my friends about this, well, my one friend specifically, um, by the end of this, this was just this past week, so that has been very reflective in my life, and I definitely have learned and become more accustomed with myself. I'm not just someone in society. I'm not just someone who's following you on Instagram. I'm me, and I'm here to fulfill my purpose in life. And this is just a way to remind me that I do have a goal and I do have somewhere that I need to be. So, so overall, I would say that this project has been very useful in my life, and I respect and hope that you continue to push this project and push that people take it fully, that when they volunteer they aren't just doing it to get an easy A because you give the grade that they ask or they say of you, but that it really has a deep and meaningful impact upon people. So I just thank you for that as well. And I will see you in class. Thank you.